Ju Kim stood at the window of the transport ship. Her reflection showed nothing special. She was of medium height with dark hair tied back in a simple style. Her uniform was clean and pressed, the blue and gray colors of Earth's diplomatic corps. She looked like any other human. The ship slowed as it neared Starbase Epsilon. The massive ring-shaped station spun slowly against the backdrop of unfamiliar stars. Juhu's stomach tightened. This would be her home for the next 2 years. Final approach to docking bay, announced the ship's eye. All passengers prepare for arrival procedures. Jumu gathered her small bag. She traveled light, a habit from her training. As the only human passenger, she felt the stares of the other travelers. Some looked curious, others seemed worried. A tall, thin alien with pale blue skin moved to the far side of the waiting area when she approached. "First time off-world?" asked the ship's captain, a friendly woman named Captain Lee. "First time this far from Earth," Ju replied. "I've been to Mars and the moon colonies, but never outside our system." Captain Lee nodded. "Well, prepare yourself. Humans are rare out here. Most of these species have never seen one of us in person." The docking clamps engaged with a shudder through the ship. Ju took a deep breath as the airlock doors opened. "Good luck," said Captain Lee. Ju stepped through the airlock into Starbase Epsilon. The main arrival hall was huge, with a high ceiling that curved overhead. The air smelled different, clean but with strange hints of unknown spices and materials. The moment she entered, the busy hall grew quiet. Hundreds of aliens from dozens of species stopped and stared. Some wore uniforms like hers, but most wore the colorful clothes of traders and travelers. All of them watched her. A short, stocky alien with thick, gray skin approached. He wore the red and black uniform of station security. "Diplomatic Officer Ju Kim?" he asked in a rumbling voice. "Yes, that's me," she said. "I am Security Chief Do. I will escort you to your quarters." He kept a careful distance from her as they walked. "You should know that many here have never seen a human." "I expected some curiosity," Ju said, "but not this much attention." Chief Do made a sound that might have been a laugh. "Curiosity? Is that what you think this is?" They entered a transport tube that would take them to the diplomatic section. As the doors closed, Chief Do finally looked directly at her. "They are not curious, Human Kim. They are afraid. Afraid. Of me." Ju couldn't hide her surprise. "But I'm just a human," Do finished for her. "Not just any human. The first human diplomat assigned to this sector in 15 years. The transport tube stopped, and the doors opened onto a quiet hallway. "This is the diplomatic quarter," said Do. "Your quarters are at the end. Commander Han will brief you tomorrow morning." As Do turned to leave, Ju called after him. "Why are they afraid of humans?" Do paused. "Because of your history, because of what your bodies can do. Because your planet tried to kill you for millions of years, and instead of dying, you got stronger." His dark eyes met hers. "Everyone knows humans united their world through war before reaching the stars. Most species here have never seen war." He left her alone in the hallway. Juhu's quarters were small but comfortable. She put away her few belongings and sat on the edge of the bed. Through her window, she could see the curve of the station and the stars beyond. "I'm just a human," she whispered to herself. "Nothing special." But as she remembered the fear in the eyes of the station's inhabitants, she wondered if that was true. Juhu woke to the gentle chime of her alarm. For a moment, she forgot where she was. Then she saw the curved ceiling of her quarters on Starbase Epsilon and remembered. Today was her first official day. She dressed quickly in her formal diplomatic uniform. The mirror showed a simple human woman, but the station residents saw something else entirely. Something to fear. A message flashed on her screen. "Report to Conference Room 7, Level 4 at 800 hours. Senior Diplomat Han." Juhu arrived 10 minutes early. The conference room was empty except for one person. A tall, slim man with short gray hair sat at the table. He wore the same diplomatic uniform as Juwu, but with gold trim that marked his senior rank. "Diplomat Kim," he said without standing. "I am Senior Diplomat Han." "It's good to meet you, sir," Juwu said. Han nodded, but did not offer to shake hands. "Sit. We have much to discuss." Juwu took a seat across from him. Han studied her with cold, calculating eyes. "You were sent here because Earth Central believes we need a human presence in this sector," Han said. "I disagree, but my opinion was not considered important." "Sir, do not interrupt." Han's voice was quiet but firm. "Your presence complicates my work. The species in this sector are not comfortable with humans. Some have religious objections. Others have scientific concerns. All have heard stories of human resilience and aggression." "Are the stories true?" Juwu asked. Han's expression didn't change. "Some are exaggerated. Some are not. The fact remains that a human can survive conditions that would kill most sentient species. You can eat foods that would poison others. Your bones heal from breaks that would be permanent for many species. Your ability to continue functioning despite injury, pain, or stress is unusual." "I didn't ask to be born human," Juwu said. For the first time, Han's expression softened slightly. "No, you did not. Neither did I." Juwu looked at him with new understanding. "You're human too. Half human. My mother was Terran. My father was Proximan. I was raised in the colonies." Han straightened some already perfectly aligned datapads on the table. "This gives me enough human capability to be useful, but with features different enough that I do not trigger the same concerns." Before Juwu could respond, the door opened. 7 aliens entered, each different from the others. They took seats around the table, all keeping at least one empty chair between themselves and Juwu. "The station's governing council," Han explained quietly. "They requested this meeting to meet you." One alien with purple skin and 4 arms stood. "We welcome you to Starbase Epsilon, Human Kim. I am Counselor Pax of the Monitoring Committee." Juwu stood and bowed slightly. "Thank you for the welcome. I look forward to working with all of you." A tall, thin alien with feathery growths instead of hair made a harsh clicking sound. "The human speaks our language without a translator. Languages are a specialty of mine," Juwu explained. The council members exchanged glances. An alien with green scales and vertical pupils leaned forward. "Is it true that humans can regrow lost digits?" it asked. "No," Juwu said. "That's not accurate." "But you can survive losing large amounts of blood?" asked another. "Within limits, yes," Juwu answered. The questions continued, each more personal and strange than the last. Juwu answered as professionally as she could, while Han sat silently beside her. Finally, a small round alien with golden fur approached. It extended a trembling hand toward Juwu. "May I?" it asked. Juwu nodded, understanding what it wanted. The alien briefly touched Juwu's hand, then quickly pulled back. "So warm," it whispered. The meeting ended soon after. As the council members filed out, Han turned to Juwu. "That went better than expected," he said. "They treated me like a zoo animal," Juwu replied. Han almost smiled. "No, Diplomat Kim. They treated you like a dangerous predator they're considering making the deal with. There's a difference." Juwu watched the aliens leave, all keeping their distance. "I had a lot to learn," she said. "Yes," Han agreed. "And so do they." 3 weeks passed on Starbase Epsilon. Juwu settled into a routine. Each morning, she reviewed reports from Earth. Each afternoon, she attended meetings with various alien delegations. The aliens still kept their distance, but they no longer stared openly at her. Senior Diplomat Han assigned her simple tasks. She organized data, prepared meeting rooms, and took notes. It was boring work, but Juwu did not complain. She knew she had to earn trust. On this day, Juwu sat in her small office, reading about trade disputes between 2 minor species. The work was dull, but necessary. Suddenly, a harsh alarm blared throughout the station. Red lights flashed in the corridors. An automated voice spoke over the speakers. Emergency. Environmental system failure in residential section 12. All personnel evacuate immediately. This is not a drill. Juwoo jumped to her feet. Residential section 12 was home to many families. She grabbed her emergency kit and ran into the hallway. Station personnel rushed in all directions. Some looked scared, others looked determined. Kim, Han appeared beside her. Return to the diplomatic quarter. This is not your concern. People could be in danger, Juwoo said. I want to help. Han's face showed rare emotion. Worry. The environmental systems are failing. That section could lose air pressure or temperature control. It's too dangerous. For you, maybe, Juwoo said. But I'm human, remember. Dangerous predator, and all that. Before Han could stop her, Juwoo ran toward residential section 12. The corridors became less crowded as she got closer to the danger zone. Emergency doors had closed to contain the problem. Station security directed people away from the area. Chief Do stood at a security checkpoint. He looked surprised to see Juwoo. Diplomat Kim, you must turn back. The situation is critical. What happened? Juwoo asked. A power relay exploded. The section is losing air pressure and heat. Most residents have evacuated, but Do was interrupted by his communication device. He listened, then his face darkened. There are children trapped behind a jammed door in subsection 7. Where? Juwoo demanded. Do hesitated, then pointed down a corridor. That way. But it's too late. The rescue team can't reach them before the pressure drops to dangerous levels. Juwoo didn't wait to hear more. She ran down the corridor. The air already felt thin, and the temperature was falling fast. Warning lights flashed on the walls. Danger. Low pressure zone. She found the jammed door. Through its small window, she could see 6 small aliens, Tellurian children. Their skin was pale blue, and they had large round eyes that now showed fear. They huddled together as the room grew colder. The door's control panel was damaged. The manual override was on the inside. Juwoo studied the door frame and found an emergency access panel. She pulled it open to reveal a complex set of circuits and mechanical parts. The air grew thinner, her lungs worked harder, and her fingers felt stiff from the cold. A normal person would turn back. But Juwoo was human. She manipulated the emergency controls, following the diagrams on the inside of the panel. Her fingers grew numb. Ice crystals formed on her eyelashes. Still, she worked. Finally, the door opened a few centimeters, not enough to let the children out, but enough for Juwoo to reach inside and activate the manual override. The door slid open. The children rushed out, their thin bodies shaking from cold. This way, Juwoo gasped, her voice weak in the thin air. Follow me. She led them back down the corridor. Her vision blurred. Her limbs felt heavy. Just as they reached the security checkpoint, Juwoo collapsed. The last thing she saw was Chief Do's face, no longer afraid but filled with awe. So this is what humans can do, he whispered. Then darkness took her. Juwoo opened her eyes slowly. A bright light shone above her. She blinked and tried to sit up. Please remain still, said a calm voice. You are in the medical bay. Juwoo turned her head. A woman in a white medical uniform stood nearby. She had dark hair pulled back tightly and wore a small pin that identified her as Chief Medical Officer Sun. The children? Juwoo asked, her voice rough. All safe, Dr. Sun replied. Thanks to you. Juwoo relaxed. Her body ached, but not as badly as she expected after what had happened. How long have I been here? Just 14 hours, Dr. Sun said. She checked some readings on a screen above Juwoo's bed. Remarkable. Your body has already repaired most of the damage from the radiation and low pressure. A Tellurian would still be in critical condition. An Axoni would be dead. The door to the medical bay opened. Senior Diplomat Han entered, followed by Chief Do. "Diplomat Kim," Han said. His voice was formal, but Ju thought she heard respect in it. "How are you feeling?" "Ready to return to duty, sir," Ju said. Chief Do made a sound that might have been a laugh. "No one else would say that after what you experienced." Dr. Sun turned to them. "She's not exaggerating. Her recovery rate is extraordinary. Her cells repair damage at 3 times the rate of most species." Han nodded. "I'm aware of human biology, Doctor." "What happened to cause the emergency?" Ju asked. "A power relay overloaded," Chief Do explained. "We're still investigating why." Han looked uncomfortable. "Diplomat Kim, your actions have complicated matters." "I saved those children," Ju said. "Yes," Han agreed. "And in doing so, you demonstrated exactly why many species fear humans." Dr. Sun tapped on her screen, and a holographic image appeared above Ju's bed. It showed her medical readings. "Look at these numbers," Dr. Sun said. "Your body continued functioning in conditions that would incapacitate most species. You remained conscious at oxygen levels that should cause immediate blackout. Your cells resisted radiation damage that would destroy other life forms." Ju stared at the readings. "This is normal for humans." "Exactly," Han said. "Do you understand now? What is normal for humans is extraordinary, even frightening, to the rest of the galaxy." Chief Do stepped forward. "The Tellurian parents are grateful, but others on the station are concerned." "Concerned?" Ju asked. Han sighed. "The Galactic Council classifies humans as a Class 4 biological entity. Do you know what that means?" Ju shook her head. "It means," Dr. Sun explained, "that your biology is considered a potential weapon. Humans can survive environments that would kill other species. You can eat foods that would poison others. Your endurance, strength, and damage resistance exceed most known species. That's why humans are so rare in diplomatic positions," Han continued. "The Council restricts human movement throughout controlled space. Earth agreed to these terms in exchange for membership in the Galactic Alliance." Ju sat up despite Dr. Sun's protests. "I'm not a weapon. I'm a person." "To us, yes," Chief Do said. "But to many species, the line between person and weapon is not so clear." A nurse entered the medical bay. "Excuse me, but there are visitors for Diplomat Kim." The door opened again. 6 small Tellurian children entered, accompanied by adult Tellurians. The children carried small glowing crystals, traditional Tellurian gifts of gratitude. The smallest child approached Ju's bed. It placed a crystal on her blanket and spoke in a high musical voice. "Thank you, human Ju. You saved us when no one else could." Ju felt tears in her eyes. "You're welcome." As the Tellurians left, Han watched them thoughtfully. "Perhaps," he said quietly, "it's time for the galaxy to reconsider what it means to be human." 2 days after the incident, Ju returned to work. The station felt different now. Aliens still moved away when she walked past, but some nodded to her. A few even smiled in their own species ways. Ju sat at her desk, sorting through messages. Many were from station residents, thanking her for saving the Tellurian children. Some were from her superiors on Earth, asking for reports about the incident. One message caught her eye. It was marked urgent and came from someone named Ambassador Kang. Ju had never heard this name before. The door to her office opened. Senior Diplomat Han entered, followed by a short, round man with a serious face. He wore the gold-trimmed uniform of a high-ranking Earth diplomat. "Diplomat Kim," Han said formally. "This is Ambassador Kang, Earth's representative to the Galactic Council." Ju stood quickly. "Ambassador, I just received your message." "No time for messages now," Kang said. His voice was deep and his words direct. "We have a problem." Han closed the door. "The ambassador arrived an hour ago on an emergency transport." "What's happening?" Ju asked. Kang sat down heavily in a chair. News of your actions during the environmental failure has spread. The Tellurian government sent a formal thank you to Earth. They're calling you a hero. That's good, isn't it? Ju asked. For the Tellurians, yes, Kang said. For Earth-galactic relations, it's complicated. Han pulled up a holographic display. It showed a large, sleek ship. This is the Vordax science vessel Truth Seeker. It will dock at Starbase Epsilon tomorrow. The Vordax. Ju had read about them in her briefings. They were a powerful species known for their advanced technology and strict views on galactic security. The Vordax hegemony has long been concerned about humans, Kang explained. They were the main force behind classifying humans as Class 4 biological entities. They pushed for restrictions on human movement in space. And now they're coming here, Ju said. Because of me. Yes, Han confirmed. They claim they want to study the human who survived conditions that should have been fatal. Kang leaned forward. What they really want is evidence to support their view that humans are too dangerous to allow free movement in the galaxy. Ju felt cold. What does this mean for me? You have a choice, Kang said. Option 1. Return to Earth immediately. We'll send another diplomat, a non-human, to replace you. That would prove the Vordax right. Ju protested. It would show that humans can't be trusted. Option 2. Han continued. You stay and face the Vordax investigation. It won't be pleasant. They will test you, question you, perhaps even provoke you. They want you to show anger, Kang added. They want you to confirm their belief that humans are unpredictable and dangerous. Ju thought of the Tellurian children and their small, grateful faces. She thought of Chief Do, who no longer feared her. She thought of Dr. Sun, who had been amazed by human resilience. What happens if I stay and pass their tests? She asked. Kang and Han exchanged glances. It could change how the galaxy sees humans, Kang said. It could be the first step toward removing the Class 4 designation. Or, Han warned, the Vordax could twist anything you do to support their views. They are very powerful in the Council. Ju stood up. I'll stay. Are you sure? Kang asked. The safe choice is to return to Earth. I'm sure, Ju said. I'm not just any human. I'm a diplomat. My job is to build understanding between different peoples. Han almost smiled. Even if those peoples fear you. Especially then, Ju replied. Kang nodded slowly. Very well. The Vordax arrive tomorrow. We should prepare you for what's coming. As they left her office, Ju looked out the window at the stars. Somewhere out there, the Vordax ship was approaching. They were coming to test her, to prove she was dangerous. She squared her shoulders. She would show them what a human really was. The Vordax ship docked at Starbase Epsilon the next day. It was larger than Ju expected. A sleek black vessel with strange symbols along its hull. From her office window, Ju watched as a group of tall, thin aliens walked from the ship to the station. Their skin was pale gray, and they wore high-collared uniforms of deep purple. The Vordax science team, Han said, standing beside her. They pride themselves on logic and control. They look cold, Ju said. They are. Emotions are considered a weakness in Vordax culture. Ju's computer chimed with a message. The lead scientist requests your presence in Laboratory 7 in 1 hour. Already, Ju felt her heart beat faster. I thought there would be formal meetings first. The Vordax don't waste time, Han said. Are you ready? Ju nodded. As ready as I'll ever be. An hour later, Ju entered Laboratory 7. The room was large and filled with equipment she didn't recognize. 5 Vordax scientists stood in a half-circle watching her enter. Their faces showed no expression. Human Kim, said the tallest one. I am Chief Scientist Pax of the Vordax hegemony. You will submit to our tests. Ju stood straight. I will cooperate with reasonable scientific inquiry, Chief Scientist. Pax's eyes narrowed slightly. You do not decide what is reasonable, human. Actually, she does, said a new voice. A small woman with short black hair stepped into the lab. She wore an Earth science uniform with a medical symbol. Under galactic law, Section 42, all beings have the right to refuse tests they find objectionable. Pax looked displeased. Who are you? Dr. Yoon, xenobiologist from Earth Science Academy, she said. She smiled at Juwoo. Ambassador Kang asked me to observe these tests. Juwoo felt relief wash over her. She wasn't alone. The tests began. The Vordax measured Juwoo's strength, speed, and reflexes. They tested how long she could hold her breath, how much pain she could tolerate, how quickly she recovered from minor injuries. Dr. Yoon watched everything, sometimes stepping in when the tests became too extreme. Remarkable, one Vordax scientist said after testing Juwoo's ability to function in low oxygen. She maintains consciousness at levels that would kill most species. That's why humans are dangerous, Pax said. They can survive where others cannot. Or, Dr. Yoon suggested, they can rescue others from conditions that would otherwise be fatal. Pax ignored her. Tomorrow we will test the humans' aggressive responses. After the Vordax left, Dr. Yoon approached Juwoo. You did well today. Thank you for being here, Juwoo said. I don't think they would have been as restrained without you watching. Probably not, Dr. Yoon agreed. The Vordax fear what they don't understand, and humans are very hard for them to understand. Why did Ambassador Kang send you? Juwoo asked. Dr. Yoon smiled. Because I volunteered. I studied many species, but humans are the most fascinating. We evolved on a planet that tried to kill us every day. Predators, disasters, disease. Most species evolved in much gentler environments. Over the next week, Juwoo and Dr. Yoon worked together. When not being tested by the Vordax, they created detailed records of human biology and released them publicly throughout the station. They explained human resilience not as a weapon, but as an adaptation for survival. Han began to show interest in their work. He provided access to station-wide communications, allowing their information to reach more species. The Vordax won't like this, Han warned one evening as they worked late in Juwoo's office. They don't have to like it, Juwoo said. They just have to see that humans aren't weapons. We're survivors. Dr. Yoon nodded. Knowledge fights fear. The more they know about humans, the less they'll fear them. Han almost smiled. A noble goal. But be careful. The Vordax don't give up easily. As if on cue, Juwoo's computer chimed with a message from Chief Scientist Pax. Final testing phase begins tomorrow. Prepare yourself, human. Juwoo looked at her new allies. Dr. Yoon with her scientific knowledge. Han with his diplomatic experience. We'll be ready, she said. Juwoo woke to the sound of a deep, rumbling boom. Her room shook. Items fell from shelves. The lights flickered and went out. A moment later, red emergency lights came on. She jumped from her bed and pulled on her uniform. The station's alarm began to wail, a different sound from the environmental alarm. This was the general emergency signal. Her communication device buzzed. It was Dr. Yoon. Juwoo, get to the command center immediately. What's happening? Juwoo asked as she ran into the hallway. People of various species rushed in all directions. A comet hit the station. The power core is damaged. Juwoo ran toward the command center. The corridors were filled with smoke and frightened people. Some were injured. Station security tried to maintain order, but fear was spreading. When she reached the command center, she found chaos. Chief Do shouted orders. Han and Dr. Yoon stood with the station commander, looking at emergency displays. Ambassador Kang spotted Juwoo. Good, you're here. How bad is it? Juwoo asked. Very bad, Kang said. The comet was small but dense. It struck near the power core. Primary systems are failing. Secondary systems are overloading. Han looked grim. The station could break apart within hours. The station commander, a tall Axoni with 4 arms, turned to them. Evacuation has begun. but we don't have enough ships for everyone. What about the Vordax ship? Ju asked. They're preparing to leave, Dr. Yoon said, but they refuse to take non-Vordax passengers. Ju felt anger rise in her. While people die here, they say it's not their concern, Kang explained. Another explosion rocked the station. The lights went out completely for several seconds before the emergency systems came back online. Power core breach, someone shouted. Radiation levels rising in sections 4 through 7. Those sections need to be evacuated now, Han said. Most of our security personnel are managing the evacuation ships, Chief Do said. We don't have enough people to clear those sections. Ju stepped forward. Humans can tolerate higher radiation levels than most species. Are there other humans on the station? Dr. Yoon nodded. 5 in my research team. Get them, Ju said. We'll evacuate those sections. Kang looked worried. The radiation levels are dangerous even for humans, but not immediately fatal, Dr. Yoon said. We would have time to work before suffering serious damage. The Vordax were right, Chief Do said quietly. Humans are dangerous to threats, not to us. Over the next 4 hours, Ju led the human team through the damaged sections of the station. The air was hot and filled with smoke. Radiation warnings flashed on every wall. They found people trapped in quarters, injured in corridors, and hiding in storage rooms. Ju's skin burned from radiation. Her lungs hurt from the toxic smoke. Her muscles ached from carrying injured aliens to safety. Still, she continued. In Section 6, they found a group of Vordax scientists trapped behind a fallen wall. Chief Scientist Pax was among them. Human Kim, Pax said weakly, you should not be here. The radiation levels are beyond safety limits. For you, maybe, Ju said as she lifted a heavy beam. For a human, this is just a bad day. The humans brought the Vordax to an evacuation point. As they were about to return for another search, Dr. Sun stopped them. No more, she said firmly. Your radiation exposure is at critical levels. Any more could cause permanent damage. Ju wanted to argue, but her vision was blurring. Her hands shook. Dr. Yoon didn't look any better. You've saved over 200 lives today, Dr. Sun continued, including all the Vordax scientists. Ju looked at Chief Scientist Pax, who was receiving medical treatment nearby. For the first time, the Vordax looked at her not with suspicion, but with something new. It might have been respect. Ju spent 3 days in the medical facility of the rescue ship that had evacuated them from Starbase Epsilon. The radiation damage to her body was severe, but not life-threatening. Dr. Sun monitored her recovery closely. Your cells are regenerating at an impressive rate, Dr. Sun said, checking the medical scanner. Any other species would take months to recover from this level of exposure. Ju sat up in her bed. Through the window, she could see the damaged station. Repair ships swarmed around it like insects. How many people did we lose? She asked. Dr. Sun's face grew sad. 12, but without you and the other humans, it would have been hundreds. The door opened, and Ambassador Kang entered. He looked tired but pleased. Good news, he said. The Galactic Council has called an emergency session to discuss the station incident. They want you to testify. Me? Ju was surprised. Why? Because the Vordax have changed their position on humans, Kang said. Chief Scientist Pax has submitted a formal report recommending that the Council reconsider the Class 4 designation for humans. Ju could hardly believe it. Because we saved them. Because you saved them even after they treated you as a threat, Kang explained. They're scientists after all. When presented with new evidence, they adjusted their conclusions. 2 weeks later, Ju stood before the Galactic Council. The great meeting hall was filled with representatives from dozens of species. Some she recognized, others were strange to her eyes. All watched her with interest. Ambassador Kang stood beside her, Senior Diplomat Han, and Dr. Yoon sat nearby. Even Chief Do and Dr. Sun had come to support her. The council leader, a tall being with glowing blue skin, spoke first. Diplomat Ju Kim of Earth, you stand before this council as the center of an important case. For 50 years, humans have been classified as Class 4 biological entities, potential weapons requiring special restrictions. Recent events suggest this classification may need review. Chief Scientist Pax rose from his seat. The Vordax hegemony has studied human biology extensively. We previously supported the Class 4 designation based on human physical capabilities. However, our observations during the Starbase Epsilon crisis have caused us to reconsider. Pax looked directly at Juwu. This human and her companions used their biological advantages not as weapons, but as tools for rescue. They saved many lives, including Vordax lives, at great risk to themselves. Murmurs filled the hall. Juwu saw many council members nodding. The council leader raised a hand for silence. Diplomat Kim, would you like to address the council? Juwu stepped forward. She had practiced her words carefully with Han and Kang. Respected council, she began, I understand why many species fear humans. Our bodies are strange to you. We can survive conditions that would kill others. We heal quickly from injuries that would be fatal to many species. She paused, looking around the hall. But these abilities didn't develop to make us dangerous. They developed because Earth tried to kill us every day for millions of years. Our planet has powerful storms, extreme temperatures, deadly predators, and countless diseases. Humans aren't weapons. We're survivors. She gestured to the aliens around her. Each of your species adapted to your home worlds. You developed unique abilities that helped you survive. Humans did the same. Our adaptations aren't meant to threaten you. They are meant to help us live. The council chamber was silent when she finished. Then, one by one, council members began to signal their approval in the ways of their species. Some clicked, some hummed, some flashed colors on their skin. The council leader looked pleased. A decision will be reached within 3 days. Until then, Diplomat Kim, you have the council's thanks for your service at Starbase Epsilon. As Juwu left the chamber, Dr. Yoon squeezed her hand. You did it, she whispered. You showed them what humans really are. Not just any humans, Han added with a rare smile. 1 year after Juwu first arrived at Starbase Epsilon, she stood in her quarters, packing her belongings. The station had been fully repaired. Life had returned to normal, or rather, a new normal. Since the council's decision 3 months ago, 17 more humans had joined the diplomatic staff. Aliens no longer moved away when humans walked past. Some even sought out human company, curious about these strange beings who were now recognized as partners rather than threats. Juwu picked up a small crystal, the gift from the Tellurian child she had saved. She carefully wrapped it and placed it in her bag. Her door chimed. Enter, she called. Senior Diplomat Han walked in. He looked different now. His posture was more relaxed, his expression less guarded. All packed? He asked. Almost, Juwu replied. I still can't believe I'm leaving. It's hardly leaving when your new position is so important, Han said. Director of Human Integration Protocol is not a small job. Juwu smiled. After the council removed the Class 4 designation from humans, they had created a new initiative to integrate humans throughout galactic society. Ambassador Kang had recommended Juwu to lead it. I'll miss this place, she said. It was a good first assignment. An eventful one, Han agreed. Most diplomats don't survive radiation exposure, save hundreds of lives, and change galactic policy in their first year. A message appeared on Juwu's screen. Dr. Yoon and Dr. Sun want to meet us in the station lounge before departure. When they arrived at the lounge, Juwu was surprised to find not just Dr. Yoon and Dr. Sun, but Chief Do, Ambassador Kang, the Tellurian families, and even Chief Scientist Pax. What's this? She asked. A proper goodbye, Dr. Yoon said. You didn't think we'd let you leave without one, did you? Chief Do stepped forward. When you first arrived, I told you everyone feared humans. I was wrong. We didn't fear humans. We feared what we didn't understand. Dr. Sun raised a glass. To understanding. Everyone drank, even the Vordax scientists who rarely participated in social events. Chief Scientist Pax approached Juwu. The Vordax do not easily change their minds, human Kim. But when we do, we commit fully to the new path. 10 Vordax scientists have volunteered to join your human integration team. I'll be glad to have them, Juwu said. Ambassador Kang handed Juwu a small box. Your new credentials and assignment details. You'll be based at Galactic Headquarters. Dr. Yoon will join you as Chief Science Officer, Dr. Sun as Medical Director. And I, Han said, will serve as your deputy. Juwu looked at him in surprise. You're leaving diplomatic service. I'm half human, Han reminded her. It's time I stopped hiding that fact. The galaxy is changing. Juwu. Humans are part of that change. As the gathering continued, Juwu stepped away to look out the large viewing window. Starbase Epsilon rotated slowly against the backdrop of stars. A transport ship was docking, bringing new personnel, including more humans. Dr. Yoon joined her at the window. What are you thinking about? When I first came here, I thought I was nothing special, Juwu said. Just a human girl. Not just any human, Dr. Yoon corrected. The human who changed everything. Later, as Juwu boarded the ship that would take her to Galactic Headquarters, she thought about all that had happened. She had arrived alone, feared by those around her. She was leaving with friends, colleagues, and a new understanding between species. The ship lifted away from the station. Juwu watched as Starbase Epsilon grew smaller. It had been her first home among the stars, the place where she discovered that being human meant more than she had ever imagined. As the ship entered faster than light travel, Juwu turned from the window. She had work to do. A new chapter was beginning, not just for her, but for all humans, and for the galaxy itself. She was a human girl, not just any human, the human who showed the galaxy what humanity truly meant.